Many question marks about whether Andrew Farrell would play. He did, and he took his place in the forward pack that also contained Pongia, Newton, Smith, Cassidy and Tickle. And on the bench, it was Johnson, O'Connor, Robinson and Hock. The coach, Mike Gregory. Now, the champions. Wellens at fullback, Gardner, Gleeson, Newlove and Stewart, Sculthorpe and Long, who continues as captain. Ward, Cunningham and Edmondson, Stankovic, Talau and Darren Smith. And the bench occupied for St Helens by Hooper, Joint, Hyam and Bennett. Coach Ian Millward, of course.
Hold on to your seats. This is going to be one roughhouse game in the opening 10. Big moment for this guy, Carl Kirkpatrick. Had a wonderful season with a whistle in his hand. Let's hope it continues tonight.
So, for the right to face the losers of Bradford Leeds tomorrow, it's Sean Long of St Helens who gets us underway. And Chris Radlinski is underneath it. And here's the first run from Craig Smith, the big New Zealand prop forward for Wigan. Crackling atmosphere. Wonderful to see the JJB Stadium full to capacity. And the prize absolutely massive. Another step on the road to Old Trafford. Cassidy driving it forward for Wigan.
No doubt in my mind that both sides will want to grind out superiority. Oh, that's a big hit. It's all right as well. Barry Ward has come up with a beauty.
What a tackle on Quentin Pongia. He felt that. Well, the cards are on the table. And that's Aidy Gardner wrapping it up for St Helens. Here comes Paul Wellens. Great chase from Wigan. Good tackle by Danny Tickle.
Good tactics as well, Wigan. Got the ball away very, very quickly indeed. After the big hit from Barry Ward, they said, let's get it down there.
And here they come. That looked a little high from Cassidy. This is Sculthorpe with a kick downfield. He's gone for a 40-20 early. Bouncing and bobbling. Oh, and it's a nasty bounce for Brian Carney. And also he lost his footing at the wrong time. Talau with the tackle.
Surprised if Carney's out there on that pitch. It was raining early this morning. A little bit damp. Not too greasy, but surely Brian Carney's gone out with long studs and not short ones.
Well, they always water this field at the JJB Stadium. They water it and cut it constantly, day after day. And match day today, nothing different. They've had the sprinklers on. It's a perfect surface. At least it's a perfect looking surface. This is Newton, he gets the ball away to Pongia. Talau got to him. He released it though to Newton. And round the corner it goes to Lamb. And he is buried by Sean Long's tackle. Fifth and last. Back it goes to Radlinski. Interesting, they're not looking for Farrell to kick at all so far. Radlinski with the kick over the top.
Common sense kick as well from the fullback, Chris Radlinski. Didn't want to bother about just too much length on the kick. Wanted to make sure that they had a chance to get set with their defensive pattern.
Seventh in a row at full-back for Radlinski. What a boost the form he is in, not only for Wigan but for Great Britain in the Ashes.
Well, without a doubt, without Radlinski last week against Warrington, I feel that Wigan would have lost. He came up with some absolutely wonderful efforts in defence. Not too bad in attack either. It's always looking to chime into this three-quarter line, but I don't think the three-quarters are going to see much of this football in the opening 20.
Stankovic wrestles to his feet. This is Darren Smith. Now it's with Wellens. Little dummy. Two moving in to tackle him. In fact, three moving in to tackle him. Farrell, Pongia and Cassidy. Here's Long. Goes inside to Edmondson. Good tackle by O'Loughlin and also by Lamb. Here goes Long. He's found Sculthorpe. It goes wide to Willie Talau. The big Kiwi flicks it out the back door to Darren Smith. It went backwards. It's on the last. On halfway it's Long. And he drifts the kick over the top with the left boot. But that's right down the throat of Dallas. And Brett Dallas to run it back for Wigan. He's away from Wellens, is he? Well, he gets the ball away anyway to Radlinski.
Well, it was a poor kick, but it was made up by a great chase by St Helens. It's really all one-out football, and it is cruel out there. They're really giving it to each other.
First penalty of the match. It goes Wigan's way.
Went high as well, did the second row of Stankovic. And then got the legs right in between of Cassidy there. No chance to get on with the play of the ball. They're the tactics, of course. They'll try to slow this Wigan side down as much as they can. Interesting though, in the first real good attack from Saints, the way they played the ball quickly was outstanding.
Here goes Pongier. Wigan finishing in third place, and under the old 5-team playoff system, third was the bogey position. Halifax, Leeds and Hull all out after 2 defeats. Last year in the 6-team system, Wigan were again third. They beat Castleford and Leeds, but then fell at the final hurdle at St Helens of all places. Craig Smith didn't like that from Barry Ward, by the way.
He went looking for him. He must concentrate on the game, never mind being sucked into it. Barry Ward wants it. He wants to leave in a big fashion, does the Australian.
Pongier felt that, but Ward bounced off him. He's back in the defensive line. Loose pass, but picked up. And here come Wigan now, in the shape of Danny Tickle.
What a great tackle from Darren Smith. He's a workhorse in this Saints side.
High kick from Adrian Lamb. It's hanging. The ball is flicked back. This is Hodgson. Here is Farrell. He flicks it away. It's a try for Tickle. It's a try for Danny Tickle. The referee wants to check the grounding first, but Danny Tickle believes he scored for Wigan.
Well, was the pass from Farrell slightly forward?
They can't check
I know, they can't go for it. Oh, that's all right. He just bobbled it for a moment, but that's fine. That's TRY time, but there's a little bit of doubt, I feel, from the pass from Farrell. To be fair to Tickle, he had to lean backwards. The try scored right underneath the noses of the St Helens fans. They're trying to hope it's no TRY, but I can assure you, surely, it's got to be TRY on the end of this. No problem, the fingertips are in contact all the way through. Tickle will have got the first points, just wants to make sure.
Jeff Berry is tonight's video referee, and the decision, it's a try for Wigan. Tickle, the try scorer. And Wigan getting the start that they must have dreamed of overnight.
Just basic rugby league football. Power your way down into a position and then utilise the kick. And it came from Lamb. Wasn't the best day last week with the kicking game, neither the passing game. 3 intercepts throughout that match. But they kept the cool. And the man who wobbled out there, their skipper Andy Farrell, has produced a pass which is sufficient to get Wigan under the way. Great basketball effort from Andy Farrell. And don't the crowd love it here?
Well, they do if they're Wigan fans. Tickle with the conversion. He makes no mistake from bang in front. And Wigan are ahead 6-0. And maybe we have just seen the reason why Mike Gregory took the gamble of pushing Andy Farrell out there. That was a lovely little flick pass to Danny Tickle, and after consultation with the video referee Jeff Berry, the try is awarded.
Big problem for Saints there. They didn't really make a contest for that high kick from Adrian Lamb. Can't afford to do that. It was good work. Wigan player flicked it back. David Hodgson passed it through, and Farrell and Tickle did the rest. Game on.
Very much so. This is Craig Smith once again. Barry Ward is the first to meet him, and with help from Cunningham, the Kiwi from forward is brought down. It's Terry Newton, now Pongier. He will drive it forward. Talau and Edmondson hunting him. Newton, good reverse pass. Here's the try scorer, Tickle, clawed to the ground.
Again, good tactics by Wigan, just keeping it tight, nothing fancy, just go through the heavy work.
Offload there.
That's a big gamble.
Then
They've got away with it.
Count down as Carl Kirkpatrick. This is Hodgson. He releases it to Farrell, and Farrell steps inside Cunningham, gives it to Pongier. He can't get away from Talau.
Bit risky that. They got away with it. Stankovic just got in the way.
A lovely ball then from Lamb, almost fed Cassidy. Here's another penalty for Wigan.
Now Darren Smith, a loose forward, losing his cool. They want to get on with it.
Cassidy felt that, just shakes the marbles.
Interesting to see there, it was Terry Newton who kicked that ball into the corner.
Yes, Farrell not doing any kicking tonight.
You're not
the knee is
working.
obviously a major problem, but his sheer presence, his sheer physical presence from Mike Gregory. Ian Millwood looking anxiously on as well, just down the row here in the main stand. Oh, and he's nearly was Sean O'Loughlin. Wigan on the job with Lamb. Another try for Wigan. Lamb under the sticks. St Helens championship crown is wobbling now. What a start for Wigan.
Wonderful play, but yet again brought about one just confidence play. They got the penalty, got them into position. They were all at sea there, couldn't hold on to him. Good play, crashing through. I don't think he got it down the first one, but I still think he's moving. It was a big hit, maybe he did, he made short anyway. This is the penalty, Darren Smith all over them, and then he went for a push as well. Said before the game it had to be the composure. Can't afford to let the hooker Terry Newton run right across the face of your defence. That means you're going to hesitate. You've got to get into the faces.
Well, a major crisis for St Helens here as Danny Tickle lines up this conversion attempt from bang in front again. 2 tries in the opening 8 minutes. Lambs converted here by Tickle. It's 12-0 to Wigan.
Very poor defence there, they're just holding back, they're not going straight. It allows Newton the chance to run away. And once you get the momentum going, a little halfback, forget about how much you weigh and what size you are. Once the missile is set away, you're always in with a chance. Tough moment for Ian Millwood.
There's a problem for the St Helens coach. Long restarts again then. And for the third time underneath the kick-off is Radlinski. He's driving it forward. Stankovic and Sculthorpe.
It's unbelievable that, isn't it? So the fullback Radlinski has read the game plan for St Helens. I thought after the first 2, which was taken quite easy by the fullback, they may opt to kick to another corner.
Well, St Helens just can't get hold of the ball at the moment. And Phil Clark, it's a dream start for the Wiganers.
It is, yeah. I'm sure Saints didn't expect to be kicking off 3 times inside the first 10 minutes of the game. See the possession there in the opposition half. They're clearly in massive favour really for the Wigan side. And Saints don't need to panic at this stage really. There's a long time to go. And the fact they haven't had any time attacking the Wigan line, you know, they're one of the best teams in this competition at scoring when they get close to opponent's try line. The difficulty for them over the last few weeks has been getting into a position that they can attack their opponents on the try line. And this is why it's essentially at this stage in the game now, what sort of meters can they make? That's good ground there from Joint and a good quick play the ball on the back of it.
It's Cunningham to Gleeson. St Helens getting on a roll here. That's 4 tackles gone. Cunningham again. It's Sculthorpe attacking this Wigan defence. That's the last. And Joint has come on for Barry Ward early. And here is Long. And Long will hoist the kick. Now then, Carney. Job to do here. Oh, he was cool. So cool, Brian Carney.
Not only that, Eddie, he didn't get his jump right. He went a bit early and yet still came up with a football. What an effort.
Here is Carney again.
Come on.
Well, he never moved. He just stayed on the ground.
He got the jump all wrong, didn't he?
Cassidy.
Well, that was forward. That was forward. Wigan looking to get away with that. One of the Saints players having a little chat to Kirkpatrick.
Craig Smith again, halted by Stankovic. And Stankovic is hurt. Took a nasty bang then. Lamb under pressure, got the ball away to Cassidy. And it's Cassidy with the kick downfield. Well, everyone is kicking tonight, bar Andrew Farrell. And now they're offside, Wigan.
St Helens player, looks like Stankovic.
Not so sure there wasn't a raised leg in the tackle here. And there was.
Yep, brought the knee up.
Craig Smith.
He was pretty low. Stankovic, luckily for him, had the head to the left-hand side. Otherwise, it could have been a lot worse than that.
Well, there was a lot of controversy, wasn't there, when Craig Smith played in Australia? They picked him up on that.
Yep.
Down there.
It's his style.
And Stankovic knows all about it now. He's still struggling, and that was a real bang in the chest, and I think he's going to have to leave the field. And the training staff there in the way of the St Helens attack, trying to attend to Stankovic. Sculthorpe is wrestled to the ground by Farrell.
is in so much pain, Stankovic. I just have a feeling he may have cracked the rib. Not surprising with the way that Smith went into him.
Good ball to Long though. Saints trying to give it width here, and further wide it goes, and this is Wellens, and he gets it out to Gardner, and Gardner is tackled by Sean O'Loughlin.
Great sliding defence from Wigan there. Didn't panic, didn't go for the man with the football.
Long again. Here's Talau. Saints need a try. This is the last tackle. Saints need to give themselves confidence by getting over the line. Sculthorpe with a crossfield kick. It's claimed by Carney.
Well, that's the third time they put him under pressure. 3 times he's taken it away. He's had a wonderful season. He got the jump right on that occasion, didn't he? Here Millwood really has to change the tactics.
Smith taking on Stankovic again, with Gleeson and Newlove, the Kiwis brought to the ground. That was Newton to Cassidy. Stankovic looks like he's run that injury off, but he's still holding the chest a bit ruefully. Last tackle here, good defensive stint by Saints. Good kick though downfield by Lamb. That relieves the pressure.
That's the way to do it.
And a fumble by Wellens.
If you can always dissect the fullback and the winger, that means you've got some vital seconds to make sure that the chase is solid. Oh, that's good defence. They're working hard. Wellens, well, just lost concentration there for a moment.
This is Newlove and Clarkey. What about Wigan's kicking game minus Farrell?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, and the big danger now that Saints do, if they allow Wigan to kick up without putting any pressure on them, then I can't see a way that they can win this game. We've seen already creating 1 try, and also the field position they get that Lamb can create with his long kicks. They need to put more pressure on Wigan when they're kicking the ball.
Talau tackled there. Here is Long. Little kick across field, and it's difficult for Lamb. Very difficult. Can he get out of trouble? Well, he gives it to Radlinski. And Radlinski does get Wigan out of jail.
Good kick, very poor chase indeed from St. Helens. Lamb should never have had the chance to get that ball away to his fullback. There was only Sculthorpe that was even involved in trying to apply the pressure. You can't win a ball game if you don't support and harass the opposition.
Well, that's what they're trying to do now, St. Helens. It was Cassidy who took that tackle. Here is Newton. Now it's with Lamb. There's the kick downfield from Lamb. And Adrian Lamb is leading the chasers, but Wellens has got plenty of room ahead of him. Now it's closed down.
One relays on the line, on the line.
Had a little look up there when he took the ball, Paul Wellens, and said, uh-oh, here they come again. The cherry and whites are on the go.
Gardner spinning away from trouble all the time. O'Connor, number 8 there, is on for Wigan. And head-to-head, well, it has been Wigan's over the years. Oh, and they've got the ball back here. And that was Dallas, good tackle by Gleeson. In Super League, though, very, very tight. And this year, as you can see, it has been Wigan all the way. And it is so far tonight. They lead 12-0. O'Connor will drive it in. Good run from the prop forward.
Lack of concentration by Saints. Too many penalties, too many errors.
This is Newton. Newton wants to get on with it. He finds Cassidy. Cassidy to Lamb. Lamb then to O'Loughlin low down. Did well to pick that up. Flicks it out the back door. Radlinski was smothered by Sean Long. Saints know that a Wigan try here and it will be very difficult. This now is Farrell. Taking on Cunningham and getting through it, Farrell. Desperate defence by Joint and Wellens. Newton. And it's gone to Cassidy!
It ricocheted off the Saints' hand.
The try is given. Cassidy with the try. He's faced St. Helens over 40 times, Mick Cassidy. And he's just come up with one of the most important tries of his life.
Poor defence allowed Farrell to go. It appeared they was going to hesitate. Surely they should have realised he's not going to the kicking game. This was a mistake there. Good work, they snapped it up. They tried to get themselves sorted out, and then the kick over the top. Sculthorpe got a hand to it, I feel. Cassidy gleefully takes it, yeah, just enough to slow it down. It may have gone a bit further. Newton yet again. He may not have got it if Sculthorpe would have left it. Too late to worry about that now. The Warriors well and truly in control of this game. But as I mentioned, Eddie, St Helens, they've got to sort themselves out. They're missing far too many tackles. They're not going up as one unit. Giving
Sean
too
Long
many.
is reading the riot act.
And so he should. They're just not playing as a unit. Some are hanging back. That first try, should I say. You've got to apply that pressure.
Farrell is doing the same on the centre spot with Wigan. The hobbling Wigan captain, but his mere presence out there has lifted this Wigan side. And this, the third conversion attempt from Danny Tickle, will give the Warriors an 18-point start. And that is a very big hill for St Helens to climb. Tickle with the left foot there. It's 18-0.
Andy Farrell, the walking wounded, but he did sufficiently to break through the first line of defence. I think St Helens actually thought for one moment that Farrell was going to do a chip over the top. He virtually stopped. They hesitate. Look, he virtually said, right, what am I going to do here? They all hung back. Cunningham went too high, and they were always struggling from there on in. Newton produced a try for Lamb earlier. A little bit of lady luck on his side. It was Sculthorpe that got a fingertip to it, bobbed it up nicely for the second rower.
Well, fourth time there that Wadlinski has taken the ball from the kick-off from St Helens, and that's Terry O'Connor picked up and dumped to the ground by Sculthorpe and Stankovic. Well, St Helens here with a major crisis on their hands. 18-0 down, quarter of the match gone. Farrell still out there for Wigan. Hodgson, he finds Cassidy, try scorer in the Irish squad. The ball's come out, back to Radlinski. Oh, and he nearly broke through. Bennett got the tackle in.
The second goal in there, Bennett could have been penalised, already completed it yet again. Lamb.
Good kick from Lamb.
Lamb is becoming a real pain in the neck for the St Helens side, and the chase is outstanding. Phil, last week Lamb looked all at sea. He's got his grounding tonight.
Well, he's helped in by the fact that if you look at the way the Wigan players are running, with its backs or forwards, running with such aggression and power, really, that they're clearing away from their own danger zone, and all of a sudden Saints are back under pressure. They're unable to have the same go forward that the Wigan side are managing to maintain, aren't they? And tend to be kicking from deep, really, and not being able to apply that pressure. I guess if you're in a black jersey at the St Helens side at the moment, your lungs would be on fire because you've had to do the majority of the painful work that takes place again in rugby league, and you get a momentary respite here now as there's a tap on the 20. Let's try it again. Just watch the runs here now from the Wigan players, the power and aggression in these.
And Carney is the first one to drive the ball forward. You might have noticed as Clarkey was talking that John Stankovic has had to make way. That injury to his chest from the knee of Craig Smith, and eventually he had to bow to the inevitable, so Hooper is on. Meanwhile, it's with Wigan in the shape of O'Connor, and there is Stankovic, and he has major problems there.
Looks like a shoulder, not the ribs as we suggested.
Lamb to Cassidy. Hooper, his first tackle, is on the latest Wigan try scorer.
Again, hesitation in the St Helens defence.
Look at that, 10 times they've had the ball, Wigan, 10 times they've completed it. Saints haven't had much of the ball, but they're completing. Not a bad ratio either. 7 times in possession, 6 completed. There's the kick downfield. It was by O'Loughlin, and Wellens underneath it. He carried that ball into the in-goal area. Has to run it out. Does well, makes 10 priceless metres.
3 tries to Wigan so far, and it's all come about, Eddie, by just keeping your control when you're in possession of the ball. We've just seen the stat there, 10 out of 10. Nothing fancy, hard work, good endeavour. They've been rewarded.
They have as well, 10 offloads, 5 breaks, just the 1 offload by St Helens so far, but let me emphasise again, Saints simply haven't had the ball. They've got it now though with Cunningham. This is Wellens. Farrell and Pongy with the tackle, they're still inside their own half. The kick will have to be good from Long. No, he'll give it to Sculthorpe. Saints are running it, they're taking a gamble. It's with Talau, it goes wide to Newland. Wigan were expecting the kick, and here now is Gardner. And Gardner still. Great flick pass out the back door. Hooper can continue it on, can he? Yes, he does. He gives it to Cunningham. St Helens. It'll chip through by Cunningham. Play on. Oh, little knock on.
They'll play the first one. It'll be head and feet. Oh, it's going to be the handover. I thought it was badly done to there. Great work from Cunningham. Decided to put the kick in. Is this a knock on? No.
That is.
That is. Well, for one moment there, it looked as though Danny Tickle had maybe just had a tickle. Not according to the official Kirkpatrick. Talking of which, isn't it great? 23 minutes of this game gone, you wouldn't even know the referee was there.
This is O'Connor again. You certainly know the players are there. There's no doubt about that.
Well, we always thought that the front row, Wigan was going to be the stronger. Pongier, Smith and Newton, and they're showing it.
Lamb just dropped the shoulder, but Gleeson wouldn't be fooled then. Just over the halfway line. Papua New Guinea international Adrian Lamb, and he gets the return from Newton. And Farrell, first kick from him. That's touched by a Saints player. Was it played at? Did it play him? It's a big call from the touch judge. This head and feed to who?
Saints.
St Helens. Yeah, he got that right.
Well, I'm not so sure that Wigan have got it right. Andy Farrell with a bad left knee finds himself in a position where he starts kicking with it.
Tidy it up a bit.
They've shepherded him so far within this game.
Well, he was desperate to play in this match, Andrew Farrell.
Yeah, but you can keep him out of the way of having to put the pressure on, like doing another kick like that.
Not the best pass from long. Wellens did well to hang on.
That was brought about by our Wigan. They're moving. Look how they're getting out of the trap. So one good thing about Kirkpatrick.
Oh, he's offside here, Wigan.
And they need it. Just about to say the one good thing about the referee Kirkpatrick is that he gives both sides. Every time a referee's a good 10. And having said that, he said, get back the 10. Rightly so. Get on with it.
Well, that's never 10, it's about 15, that.
I said it was a good 10.
This is joint.
Desperate
right, it
now.
is a very good 10. Hooper. Hooper! Great run! Oh, great try. Just what Saints needed. Wigan dozing there. And Hooper with the try. Saints maybe are not out of this yet. Just what they wanted from Jason Hooper. On for the injured Stankovic. Ian Millwood hasn't waved a white flag yet. He hasn't waved a white flag throughout his career.
Well, it's Wigan that held up on this occasion there, but take nothing away from the try scorer. Jason Hooper, what a sensational step. Just pushes away O'Connor. By the time they went for his legs, which was Berlinski, Hooper was well and truly over the whitewash. They're looking at each other saying, who's going to take him? Hooper said, I can't believe I've got so much space. Sidestep Newton, hands off the prop O'Connor. By the time Redlinski gets it all copybook right, it's too late, baby. Saints, they're back in the game. Wow!
Say that again.
Well, I know that some crowds have drummers, but where's the bugler? Because here they come, St Helens, and Long increases their total to 6. Remember, at Nosey Road, Wigan led 20-0. Is this the reverse going to happen here? 18-6 to Wigan. Hooper with the try.
Unbelievable, there must be 18 metres there. 18 metres. You can't afford to do that.
Keep working,
They were resting on their laurels for Wigan. And if ever they needed a kick at the backside, that certainly was it. Fully in control of this game. No fat lady around yet, Eddie.
Definitely not. 27 minutes gone. The gap down to 12 points. Now then, can St Helens get one of their traditional rolls on? They will try. Let's get news on John Stankovic. Bill.
Big debate going on the sidelines of the St Helens bench at the moment about John Stankovic, and in fact he's just been taken back to the dressing room for a second time. It is a shoulder injury. It's the right shoulder that suffered damage in that tackle on Craig Smith when Smith had the knee raised, and there you can see Stankovic just going into that Saints dressing room for more attention, but they are hoping to get him back.
Sean Long was looking for a 40-20 there. Radlinski cut the opportunity off.
No penalties, hold the line.
He gets to his feet and plays the ball to Hodgson, and here is Brett Dallas.
Mike Gregory has to get the message out very, very quickly. Hey, come on, fellas. 18-6 now. You can't just rest back. You've got to work harder.
Here's Gareth Hock, by the way, and we thought he was the man waiting for Farrell to go off. Farrell is still there, and here he is.
Oh, make it, make it! Good running, Chris.
This is Terry Newton. Now it's Terry O'Connor.
Big question for Mike Gregory now is to when will he make it the decision that Andy Farrell is becoming a liability? He's limping badly. It's a big thing to do for a coach. Take off your captain.
Lamb with a midfield bomb, and it's hanging. And it's come to St Helens. Turnover, it's the first knock-on that was against Wigan.
Another high kick, creating all sorts of problems for them. Never really got anywhere underneath that. Despite the fact that Hooper had put them back in this game. Ian Mill, with the Saints coach, will have plenty to say at half-time. They've got to get their shape back.
Here comes Sculthorpe to the halfway, tackled by O'Loughlin.
Also Lamb went for the legs, most importantly of the two involved in the tackle.
Newland.
I'll say the Wigan sliding defence is working to perfection.
It's Cunningham. And Wellens. Oh, he got underneath Hock. And O'Connor. And Newton. And also Farrell with the tackle there. Last one. And Long will kick this way. It's flicked, it's come back to Sculthorpe. That's a shame. That's a shame. It just went forward.
Well, I wouldn't say just went forward, Eddie. Just couldn't keep control of it. That was play on. Just lost control there, and it was always going to be forward and knock on. It was on the last yet again. I think the St Helens players realise that they're not playing out of their skin. There's got a lot of work to be done to sort it out there, but they're just hoping maybe they can snatch. Oh, they're caught offside. Lack of discipline yet again. It's cost them dearly.
Well, a penalty to Wigan, but Clarkie, do you get the impression that the tide has suddenly turned Saints' way?
Well, it cost the penalty, but I just thought the last set of possession that Saints had was a positive one for them. They picked the ball up on their 20-metre mark, and by the time they finished the set, they were kicking dangerously on the Wigan 20-metre mark. That's the best bit of ground they've made in a set of possession, so maybe they're starting to find their way through this Wigan defence a bit more.
It's with Craig Smith, though, now for Wigan. Darren Smith is there. And with help from two more, Hooper was one.
Well done, Willie.
They get him down. It's Lamb to Farrell. Well, he's bravely battling on. He's taking them on as well, not just shipping the ball wide, actually taking the Saints defence on. Gareth Hock.
Interesting to see there after that tackle. Kieran Cunningham lifted the left leg to try to extend it.
Newton gets the ball away. Craig Smith offloads to Newton. Here is Lamb. Second try for Lamb.
Brilliant. Nothing short of brilliant. Wonderful stuff. Talk about looking for the support play. The second effort. The endeavour to make sure that you offload. And supported by this fella. A lot of criticism about Lamb last week, but Newton is running the show, and Newton handles twice, and Lamb says, I'll do a topsy-turvy. It's 4 points. Terry Newton is ripping Saints apart. Smith's offload was superb. Newton yet again. Not surprisingly, Terry Newton has been involved in 3 of these tries in the first half. 2 scored by that man, Adrian Lamb.
And Adrian Lamb now with the kicking responsibilities. He has scored 5 goals this year. Try against Warrington last Saturday was only his second starting appearance, by the way, in 2 months. This is his third. He's come up with a couple of tries, and that is his first ever conversion of a try for Wigan. The rest have all been penalty goals. Now, was this full? No.
No doubt about it. But the effect that this hooker is having on the game, brilliant stuff. See how Newton, not only when he runs, he was looking as though he was going to go through the hole to the defence, offloads, but more importantly, His job wasn't finished. He didn't rest, said I put someone through the gap. He said I want to be there if the game, and it was Smith that offloaded yet again.
O'Connor running strongly tonight. That's another punishing run forward by him. Johnson's come on for Danny Tickle. That's why Lamb was taking that conversion. Oh, Craig Smith has broken free. Craig Smith's broken free. Just couldn't get it away to Carney. Penalty.
Yeah, they're desperate.
Saints trying all they know.
Desperation. It's desperation, Eddie. No doubt that Paul Newlove was saying we're in all sorts of trouble. Even in more trouble now. He looks pretty calm, does Mike Gregory.
Well, they both do, to be fair to them.
Well, I think one's calm, the other one's shocked.
O'Loughlin and Craig Smith again. Stankovic bravely coming back out with that shoulder injury. This is Lamb. Well, that was forward to Radlinski. Looked it from up here anyway. The touch judge and referee have other ideas.
I'm with you, Eddie.
Newton, Farrell, still Farrell, and still.
Come on, come on. Well done, Kieran.
Newton. Little drop of the shoulder. O'Loughlin's in. Sean O'Loughlin for Wigan. They're ripping them to shreds. Wigan are ripping the champions to shreds. And they are dejected. They are depressed. Not only can they see St Helens' title flying out of the window, but it's up against the old enemy. And nothing is such a bitter pill to swallow as that.
Paid the price yet again, gave away a silly penalty. The crisscross, Newton with the skipper. What a captain's knock this has been. He could hardly walk yesterday. Has not trained all week. Oh, perfect dummy. First half against Warrington last week, I thought the standoff, Sean O'Loughlin, found it very difficult indeed. He came good in the second half, and the confidence has obviously filtered into this match. But that was sheer quality. Just threw the shoulder down, little hint of a dummy, and then he goes for a 4.
Ian Millwood's on his way down. He knows that there are details to be attended to at pitch level. Oh, one young man cannot bear to watch.
Yeah, me, Jeff.
But if he takes the hood off the top of his head, he will have just seen Sean O'Loughlin scoring his first try for Wigan since March. And here is Adrian Lamb now to try and add the extras. Oh, he's just missed it. I was about to say it's all coming good for Wigan. 28 points to 6 though. Saints with Mount Everest now ahead of them.
An incredible first half by the Warriors. And to be fair, the only football that they have produced has come when they're very close to the St Helens line. Just hard work has got them there. And then they know to keep the ball alive.
Well, the momentum was at Wigan's backs early. They scored in the 6th minute, and despite the fact that Hooper got a consolation try back for Saints after 27 minutes, Wigan have run in 4 tries to 1 in this first half, and that's Paul Johnson. Sorry, 5 tries. 5 tries to 1. And here is O'Connor having a big game, the substitute.
As I mentioned, Eddie, that it was just a kick at the backside they needed.
Look at the possession in the opposition half. Saints can hardly get over the halfway line.
Controlling it.
Lamb slides the kick in between 2. Stewart collects it. Oh, they're right on their own try line here, the Saints. They've got to produce something special to get out of this.
The enthusiasm that's running through this Wigan outfit.
Big question, of course, Steve-O, is when will they take Andrew Farrell off? Will they think that this is maybe enough?
They have a problem, Eddie, because Adrian Lamb has hurt himself going into that tackle. It was a big hit. And it looks like he could have a problem with his shoulder. It's not over yet here, I'll tell you.
This is Mike Bennett.
Still receiving treatment downfield is Lamb.
It's long now. His opposite number goes wide to Sculthorpe and further wide to Newland and even wider to Gardner. And Craig Smith was there, and that's the turnover. It was on the last, and Lamb
it looks
has
like
problems.
the legs. He went in awkward into the tackle. It was a big hit.
They get him off the field quickly to try and get him repaired. Meanwhile, this is Carney. Well, it would be a blow for Wigan, with Farrell limping on one leg and Lamb now having left the field, maybe temporarily. Robinson has come on though, not a bad replacement, little Luke Robinson. They're calling him the new Andy Gregory in this part of the world.
That's where they picked it up, got the leg underneath and then just twisted it.
Here's Farrell. Oh,
that was high from Sean Long, no doubt about it.
That was frustration. There is Lamb making his way to the sideline. There is Robinson, there's the kick over the top. An invitation here for Gardner to run it back. And Robinson. What about that fact, Steve? Other people like him to the great Andy Gregory.
Well, I'll go further back.
Well, you can.
Alex Murphy to me, he's got the confidence, he's cheeky. We all know how cheeky Alex can be. He was a great player. And if he keeps himself out of mischief, this fella, he's going to go to the top.
Talking of Alex Murphy, he's back in the game. He's at Lee Centurions. They play the Salford City Reds on Sunday at 4, Sky Sports 2. Meanwhile, that chip is fielded by Carney. And Carney is quick. And Carney is quicker than them all. And Carney goes over next to the sticks, underneath the black dot. Carney with a try. They know they're on the way to the next phase, I think. The supporters of Wigan are going potty. Brian Carney. What a first half this is.
Like last week, Adrian Lamb put the ball fair and square with a little chip kick that allowed Warrington to take control. They're trying to get him farmed out wide. They've got to do something. The little chip through here, bang. Wonderful anticipation. They tried the damnedest, but he knew he was being pushed along by his coach. Desperate effort there. And Carney gives a bitter blow to the Saints only seconds before the half-time break. It's hard to accept just before the half-time hooter.
Luke Robinson is the third Wigan kicker this half. And another success. 34 points to 6.
An unbelievable scoreline.
There's the half-time siren. What a first half for the Wigan Warriors. They're getting a standing ovation, and their mascot is doing a jig of delight. What a first half. He was pushed out. He took the gamble. So did Mike Gregory. And boy, has it paid dividends. 34-6. The Saints fans, they are absolutely devastated. They're shell-shocked. I don't think there can be any comeback from this now for them. 34-6. An incredible first half from Wigan. It's all come right for them on the night.
And the fact that Mike Gregory had a big decision to make. When does he bring him from the fray? Pretty difficult because it's such a great competitor, but they both have to start realising, especially if Wigan score very early, and there's a good chance here.
Deary me, there was a big hole there, and Paul Sculthorpe had to react first, and he did, because the ball had bounced back towards Wigan.
The point I'm making, Eddie, is that if Wigan score very early in this second half, then I think Mike Gregory has to start looking towards next week and give his captain as much rest as possible.
You know, I don't think Farrell wants to leave the scene at all.
Well, he won't, but he's got to start looking long-term, Eddie.
Hyam, his introduction will help. This is Jason Hooper. Hooper He's still going, he couldn't get the pass away. Johnson with an important tackle. Saints looking for the try early that will give them the lift. Here is Edmondson. Edmondson! He's just hauled down.
That was
it's
on
the
the last.
turnover, that was the last. We all missed that.
Well, they went for the power play, but once again it was Hooper that was going to be the man that was going to put Saints back in the picture. Remember, Saints have had not that much possession throughout this game so far. Only once did the Wigan defence just fall asleep in the first 40. They've done it yet again. It was that man Hooper.
But this is Craig Smith, who I must say has been absolutely magnificent for Wigan since Mike Gregory took over.
Yep.
Here is Farrell. Good ball. Trying to feed Gareth Hock, and he did, but he just couldn't get through the gap. It's with David Hodgson. Stankovic came on, immediately he's gone off. Start of this second half. He's in all sorts of problems with the shoulder. Robinson drifts the kick over the top, and that will stay within the field of play. Saints are going to have to run this back in the shape of Wellens.
What a talent, Eddie, this kid is. Just unbelievable.
There are some fantastic youngsters now.
It certainly is, but this kid really excites me, Luke Robinson. That's the third kick he's had, and not once has he put it down the throat of the opposition. He's thinking all the time. We know about his confidence.
Well, talking of confidence, I bet it was a confident Wigan dressing room. Bill's got all the half-time news.
Thanks, Eddie. Just had a very enlightening and frank discussion with Ian Millwall. Well, not so much a discussion, but he really did lay it on the line, his view of that first 40 minutes from his side. He said, we've done one or two things well, we've done an awful lot badly. We've played in patches, we've played in certain areas of the game, and we just haven't stuck to the game plan. And that is what he's looking for in this second half. He just has one or two complaints about the first try, a forward pass he thought to the try scorer, and other than that, he's very frank about his team's failings. He's just hoping that in this second half, early in this second half, they can get points on the board and give themselves a bit of confidence, because that is shattered at the moment. As you said, Mike Gregory and the Wigan side very happy with the way things have gone. Just the worry that, as we've seen early in the second half, they just might let their guard drop, and they can't afford to do that against this Saints side. The news of Adrian Lamb is that he's stretched his knee. They're a bit worried about it. They're not going to risk him in this second half.
So they're guarding Lamb, they're not guarding Farrell at the moment. They don't have to, they think. And the ball has been stolen there by Stewart. It was back to zero in the tackle count, but Anthony Stewart doing really well, getting the ball back for the Saints.
Good work by the winger. They had to as well. They made a real meal of the fact Wigan coughed it up first.
So here come the Saints in the shape of Ward. He gets the ball infield. But Edmondson was covered. Ball goes behind Long. It's with Hooper now. And Hooper will drive it forward. Finds Paul Newlove. Could be playing his last match for St Helens tonight. He and Barry Ward. Reward to retire. Newlove, we believe, for Castleford. This is Sculthorpe. Stabs the kick through. Oh, it's difficult, and that's good play. But well held, Radlinski. With great pressure there from his opposite number.
Mickey Hire certainly got to him. Neat little kick through there by Sculthorpe. We haven't seen much of him. We haven't seen much of Saints anyway, because they haven't had much possession.
They're going to get it now.
But he's one of the best in the world, isn't he, Chris Radlinski?
Outside of the grand final, this is the biggest crowd that we've seen for a playoff to date. And what an incentive now for Bradford and Leeds supporters to take that record back across to Yorkshire tomorrow for Bradford and Leeds. It's live on Sky Sports from 6. It's the qualifying playoff. Whoever loses that gets a second chance against the winner here next week, and it's probably going to be Wigan. But probably, when you're in a match with Saints, is a very big word. Sculthorpe, Wellens.
Oh, nice little dummy delayed pass from Sculthorpe. He's warming up, getting the opportunities.
Sculthorpe to Long, and Long to drive it in. Showed it to Cunningham. A great dummy from Long. Oh, it deserved a try. He's done a tackle from Radlinski.
He's done it again as Radlinski.
This is Cunningham. Work to do again, and Wigan's defence does. It's the last one. Terrific defence. It's back here with Hooper. Here is Sculthorpe. They have the overlap wide. He's found Darren Smith, and Smith will score for Saints.
Does he? He'll go to the screen. Does he take a second bite in it?
Check the screen, double movement, please.
He wants to see if there's a double movement there.
Well, he's not celebrating, Darren Smith.
Oh, that could be a double movement, Eddie.
Well, it's a big call. This is a huge call for St Helens.
Yeah, double movement. The ball carrying arm and he's moved forward. I don't think they'll give this. Touch judge goes for a...
Still moving, but...
looks a double movement to me. And does he make it? That's another question. Beautiful pass. So the sliding defence.
Definitely makes it on the whitewash.
Yep. Benefit of the doubt, but I think that's a double movement. But I'm not the video
or
referee.
Is it momentum that's taken him
well,
home?
He's got to make that decision, hasn't he? He has to make that decision. I think he's gone for try, Eddie. And it's what the doctor ordered for the Saints fans and the Saints side.
No, it isn't. And Ian Millwood cannot believe it.
Well,
and Mike Gregory, well, I think his little look said it all. And Ian Millwood, I think we will hear more about that after this match. He believes his side have been robbed. And well, from what you were saying, so do you.
Well, when I first saw it, Eddie, I thought there was a definite movement, which there was, and then you brought into the equation the momentum, that awful word. Well, they have been let off, I can assure you.
Well, that will rattle their cage, Saints.
Yeah, but what a tackle by Redlinski on Sean Long. It was a try all the way. He did it 4 times against Warrington last week, and he saved Wigan's bacon yet again.
Drive forward here by Johnson. He plays the ball to Terry Newton. Here is Luke Robinson. And I think Ian Smith, the referee in the stands, received the 4th official maybe in the stands. He received a right ear bashing from Ian Millwood. There he is. The kick stands up, and here is Wellens.
That chase has been outstanding all night, and that man that's made the tackle.
Just to clarify, Ian Smith is tonight's reserve match referee, and Ian Millwood had a word in the ear. It had nothing to do with Ian Smith.
It's not his fault, is it?
It's the video referee, and it's Carl Kirkpatrick. But a moment like that, and they get the penalty here, St Helens, because they've stolen the ball. But a moment like that, Steve-O, and a whole season work comes crashing down, and you can understand Ian Millwood's frustration.
Yeah, of course, but it's pointless taking out an official that's not involved with it.
But I think he had a word. I'm not saying he took it out of him.
It's like us, Eddie. We're not the organ grinders. We're the monkeys, aren't we?
Speak for yourself, by the way.
But this was outstanding. Sean Long thought he was home and host. And Redlinski, as I mentioned before, he had 3 wonderful efforts against Warrington last week, has come up with an absolute classic. Because that is more important to Wigan than anything, because St Helens knew they had to score quickly, get the momentum, and that stopped it.
They're still looking to get that momentum going here with Wellens. 3 tackles gone. They are just 15 metres away. Smith, who was denied. Sculthorpe. There's the pass to Mickey Hyatt. He escapes the clutches of Gareth Hock. He can't get away from the next 2. It is all St Helens in this second half. Hyatt plays the ball to Edmondson. Again he's repelled. Last tackle here for St Helens. Hyatt. Back it goes to Long. Long will attack the gap. He'll flick it back to Hooper. Hooper will give it to Barry Ward. Ward with a kick over the top. It'll be flicked back, and it'll bounce, and it bounced not very kindly for St Helens.
He'll take the first knock on. St Helens crowd don't like it. And he took a gamble, didn't he, David Hodgson, taking that ball. He should really... Yeah, that's a knock on. Maybe 50-50. It's difficult to say from here. Oh, that...
yeah, on that angle it looked, but on the other one it looked as though it had gone forward. Fair play to the referee.
Don't argue with me.
Wigan, well, if it was 4-6, you would say they're trying their hand here and testing their luck, but 34-6. Here's Robinson again. Clarkie, what about this decision at the start of the second half going against the Saints?
Well, I suppose Ian Millwood might say it just summed up their night, but I'm pleased for the St Helens fans here that Saints have come out and really thrown it at Wigan. You know, they're a far better side than what they showed in the 40 minutes of the first half, and I bet you know Mike Gregory and Dennis Betts, the Wigan coaching staff, are pretty pleased because their defence has been put under massive pressure. It's really good training and it's a good test at this time of the year to have to defend your line with such pride and passion, and they've done that and shown that they can do that again. And I just wonder now, after 10 minutes of an onslaught from St Helens, whether there'll just be a turn in the game here now and Wigan will get some possession and put that first try on the board.
It's Saints' possession from that scrum. Long to Sculthorpe.
The one advantage that Ian Millwood has picked up from the restart is the fact that Paul Sculthorpe is getting into the swing of things. He's been busy in the opening 10 minutes. Whilst Sculthorpe and Sean Long are out there, they've got the ability to break down any defence. But when you get scythed down like Redlinski did on Long, it just knocks your confidence.
That was Sculthorpe who was dumped to the ground. This is Mickey Hyam. Went wide to Cunningham. Cunningham goes further wide to Martin Gleeson, and he is clawed to the ground on the fourth tackle by this Wigan defence. Cunningham's there again. Hooper, now Long. Long looks on his inside, finds Wellens has moved up.
Great defence yet again, instead of the sliding
defence. He's nearly lost that.
Ooh, he did well to hang on. Just saying, instead of the sliding defence, Wigan at times now are doing it short and going in on the angle.
It's with Long. Little kick through. It's turned Carney around. He knows they're coming for him. Oh, he's lost it. Darren Smith has scored this time.
No doubt about this one.
How the ball came out. Just check how the ball came out. Just check the grounding.
Well, Carney was messing around. He really should have rushed back for that and make sure that he took control of it. This will be TRY, no doubt about it.
They're just checking whether Gardner got fingertips to this. Surely not. Oh.
Well, did he play for it, or is he involved in the tackle?
Look at his eyes.
Ooh, don't tell me they're going to be denied yet again. You can't see from there. I think he touches it, Eddie, but this is the one that'll count. Pops up. Oh yeah, he does. And you can see him going for it yet again. Well, the same man looks as though he's going to have.
Oh dear, I think that touches his fingers.
Yeah. He's got to make the decision whether he's just involving himself in the tackle, that the ball hit the hand rather than the hand hitting the ball. No doubt about plonking it down. This is the big question. I think he'll give this.
Well,
I think he will deem that the ball touched the hand, not the other way around. I think this will be TRY.
Well, I think purely and simply on knock for knock, Saints deserve this.
Yep, and they'll get it, I feel.
Well, yes. Try for Darren Smith, denied a few minutes ago, but not this time. And the video referee Jeff Berry saying that Gardner did not get a fingertip to it, or if he did, he didn't play at it.
Well, it went so fast, and I think Mr. Berry's got it spot on in as much that the momentum of the man Gardner going through, it just pops up, but that is poor play by Carney. He really did just stroll back when he should have had a lot more urgency. He's paid the price of 4, will it be 6?
Long with the kick, he's missed it. It's 34 points to 10. The champions are not quite dead yet. Darren Smith, what an effort from him this year. A try now in 6 consecutive matches. He won an Aussie Grand Final with Brisbane.
Keep it tidy in defence.
A couple of times.
Well, if that would have been given no try, I think they would have had to put Ian Millwood in a straitjacket.
Again, they allow that ball to bounce from the kickoff, and again they get away with it, Saints. Hooper picked it up.
To be fair to the Saints, they are becoming a lot more confident.
Oh, and Cunningham's on his way now. Cunningham's on his way. This is Gleeson.
Should have looked to pass. He had someone on the outside.
Radzinski gets back to him again.
Cassidy came back just at the right moment.
Now they get a penalty.
Messing around in the play of the ball. They've got to steady the ship here, and Mike Gregory realises that too. You can see Redlinski there, and in pressure times like this, Eddie, it wouldn't surprise me if someone goes to the sin bin for the professional foul.
Here come the Saints.
That will turn it around if Saints were only playing against 12 men.
That's Edmondson who's on his back, but St Helens now are less than 20 metres away. And here is Barry Ward through one. Couldn't get through the other. That was O'Connor. Hyam quickly off the deck. Just slipped at the wrong moment. Cassidy finished him off. Ward back to Long. Long to Sculthorpe. One handed out of the air. Gardner. Great defence from Wigan though, but will they stand firm for another 2 tackles? This set of 6. Newlove to Darren Smith.
It's Wigan now that are hanging off. They're trying to find out. Cassidy's picked up a knock.
It's Hyam, and here is Long, and it goes wide. Oh, and it was Cunningham who got the ball away, bouncing everywhere.
Knock on Wigan.
Knock on against Wigan. He's not given it up yet.
A relieved Manny and Millwood knows he's got 6 more to go.
Gareth Hawk with a mistake, but under pressure, enormous pressure.
No, it was Hodgson. David Hodgson that got a fingertip to him first. Definitely went to the football.
Well, they're back from the bars and they are on their feet. And the rain is teeming down all of a sudden. Looked up then and thought the fog was coming in, but it's rain. It is slanting down. Oh, Sculthorpe with the error.
Well, I was just about to say that this could go against St Helens. With so much rain and the wind has picked up, it is driving right into the faces of the St Helens outfit. And Sculthorpe had to reach down for that pass. And I'll tell you how much this wind has just got up in the last few moments. All our notes in front of us are just blowing all over the place. It's as though Mike Gregory and the Wigan fans have said, bring on the wind and the rain.
Yes, we're in the middle of a squall. I don't think there are sprinklers on top of the stands here. This is O'Connor. And there we are. You can just about see us. We can just about see the pitch. And Wigan can just about see next Friday.
Give him time. Give him time.
Against Bradford or Leeds. This is Wellens. Great chase led by Sean O'Loughlin.
Well, there are 2 teams who won't mind this at all. And that's Leeds and Bradford, because this will really take its toll on both sides.
Next Friday, the winner here will go through to the final eliminator. They will face the losers of tomorrow night. And then whoever wins that one next Friday will go on to the grand final. And if you need any information about the biggest night and day of the year, it's 0113 232 911. And also you can get information about the Great Britain-Australia Ashes series, which kicks off here at the JJB Stadium on November the 8th. There's a lot more rugby league to run under the bridge between now and the end of the season. And it's a privilege to be here on a night like this to watch it unfold.
Well, it's sad that the rain and the wind has come at this point. I mentioned Wigan won't mind, but Sean Long, he's winding up. That was a good kick and chase. A lot more urgency in this St Helens side. And what a hit there! Barry Ward is lining them up again.
Carney felt that. And that's Aspinwall. Cassidy. Luke Robinson. Kicked downfield under pressure from Ward.
David, leave him! Leave him!
Again, he gets open space.
This is Stewart.
Stewart under a lot of pressure as well.
Plays the ball to Wellens. Great work from Danny Tickle.
So much intensity out there, Eddie. It's not surprising that a lot of mistakes are coming from it, and from those mistakes, points are being scored.
Hyam, Long. Hooper stopped dead in his tracks by the first tackle. It was from Gareth Hawk, who gets another one in. They're saying he wasn't standing square. Long on the last here. Little dink over the top. Straight down the throat though of young Sean O'Loughlin, and he's hurt.
He wasn't square, I don't think. He should have taken a little bit of a step. I've seen them given. They're running the tightrope at Wigan, I must say.
This is Luke Robinson to his feet, and he plays it to Cassidy.
Ironic,
Paul Johnson.
Just saying, ironic, wasn't it, that it was Gareth Hogg, I think, that took that ball, and they're claiming for a voluntary tackle.
Here goes Danny Tickle.
Wigan know that another try will seal it.
Farrell drifts the kick through the defence, finds the touchline over on that far side. Well, Farrell must be getting fitter and fitter as this game goes on, because he's starting to kick the thing now.
Well, he's gone through the pain barrier. He will have no semblance of pain going through his body at all. Won't even worry him. It's only when he comes off and he winds down that all throbbing will start going at him. As I say, they need another try, and maybe Mike Gregory may say, we've got to bring him off. Maybe he's waiting for Farrell to come up with an error.
Wellens plays the ball to Sean Long. Here is Paul Sculthorpe.
To release Marcus Square.
Big hit there by O'Loughlin.
Full credit to Saints, you know, they're keeping this ball alive. They have not thrown the towel in. Okay, at half-time you will... Well, he's lifted that game since he came on. He's certainly brought a lot of enthusiasm and just a little bobble.
Just a tiny one.
What's the shot? Oh, maybe, well... I know they've got Carney on the wing, but they've certainly had a look at the Irish tonight. I'm not taking anything away from their ability and their skills at creating great drives. It's just that quite a lot have gone against St Helens.
Talking of Irish international Chris Joynt making his way to the sideline. He'll be on in a moment for St Helens. This is Pongier, who tried to offload that and held on.
Just basics now from Wigan, just like they did in the first half.
Cassidy.
Maybe the 1 point.
Well, it's an ice rink as well now, courtesy of all this rain. That was not the best pass, and Robinson allowed it to bounce, did brilliantly well. What a talent. What a talent.
I thought for one moment they'd go for the one. Will they do now? Or will they just dink it into the in-goal area?
It's Farrell with the kick. Here come the cavalry. Oh, it's bounced horribly. They're in. They're in the shape of Radlinski. What a wicked, wicked bounce. What an awful bounce for St Helens defence. And Chris Radlinski gets the reward for chasing what looked like a lost cause. The kick from Farrell, the try from Radlinski. Stand by, Bradford or Leeds. Wigan are coming at you.
Certainly are. Captain Courageous. A proud man, Mike Gregory. Still to be defeated in his short spell as the coach here. And Lady Luck bounces their way yet again. But the kick was superb, bobbling all over the place. Bang! Stewart had no chance. Wellens tried everything. But one of the best full-backs in the world saw the opportunity. Bang! Stewart should have gone a little bit harder for it. But the wind and the rain in the St Helens faces now. And I think that try, as you mentioned, Eddie, surely will seal it.
The 7th try, and Andrew Farrell is still winding his players up, and it looks like he will not be leaving this stage. He's created the 7th try. We're back to the original goal kicker, Danny Tickle. He's got 3 from 3 tonight, and this for the 40-point mark for Wigan. Well, sadly, some of the St Helens fans are deserting the cause. They are leaving the stadium away to our left-hand side. They have seen enough. It's been painful for them. They're on their way. They're on the mobiles. Get us a taxi. Get us out of Wigan. You cannot blame them. But there are still plenty who are staying here to cheer St Helens to the end. And the end of their season now is around about 20 minutes or so away, I fear. But here is Tickle. And Tickle's boot brings up the 40 points for Wigan. Wigan 40, St Helens 10. The mascot enjoying things, as are this crowd. A record crowd for a playoffs outside of the grand final, and also a JJB Stadium record for a Wigan game. Almost 22,000 in here tonight. The majority of them very happy indeed.
And they've been served up a treat. But Wigan, not surprisingly, they went back to basics that was so effective in the first 40. Just drive it down, then create something, apply that pressure. Saints, well, they had a good 15 minutes. But I'm afraid it's an uphill battle now, and I think they know it. Some of the heads are going down.
Well, Andy Farrell has been the central figure in everything tonight. Would he play, wouldn't he play? The answer in the affirmative, and Bill's news of him as he kicks again.
Eddie, you were concerned about whether he should be staying out there, and surely Wigan would have taken him off by now, but according to physio Alan Tomlinson, Farrell's not feeling any pain at all, and he's enjoying himself out there, and why not with that scoreline?
He was desperate to play, he wanted to meet the old enemy. Clarkey, I know you spoke to him early in the week, and pre-match you expressed fears that he wasn't fit, but boy, look at him.
Do you know what, it's just reminding me of how a week can be such a long time in sport. At half-time last week, Wigan were under pressure, Warrington looking good. All of a sudden, a week later, Wigan completely dominant against St Helens. And Andy Farrell, as you say, I spoke to him on Monday, was very doubtful he would play in this game. Looks as though absolutely nothing wrong with him, does he, at all, as Smith keeps going for St Helens on to Newlove.
He does, and he's got Wellens on the inside, he's got Gardner on the outside. Here is Gardner, and Gardner trying to spin away from the tackle, but Radlinski again. It's on the last.
They took the wrong option there. They should have passed on the inside.
Long with the kick, and it beats everybody.
They had the opportunity. Wellens was on the inside there. And Newlove has probably thrown away the opportunity. Any semblance of Saints getting back into this match. Look at Wellens there. All he had to do was veer towards Radlinski. He took the option to go out wide. A.D. Gardner was cut down. And that, my friends, is it. You've got to take your chances.
Oh!
Penalty. Should have got out of the way, Darren
Smith was in the ruck. You have to get out of the way. And Darren Smith didn't.
He's allowed to loiter. And he knows it.
With or without intent.
Yep. Move along, please.
Well, it's been a fantastic effort from St Helens all through this season, but Mike Gregory, his men are going to be 80 minutes away from the grand final.
And they'd have to fancy themselves, wouldn't they?
They've come good at the right time.
Especially with the display that in that first half totally control things, and Ian Millwood shakes the head as another man just drops off a tackle. Not on that occasion though.
And Steve-O, Wigan need have no fears of the opposition next week. Look at this now from them in these wet and greasy conditions. I'll come back to that point in a minute as we see this develop with Castley playing the ball. And here is Farrell, who slides the kick in looking for Robinson. Wellens does well. Wellens tidies up the danger, and he gets away from them. He can't get away from the next one in. He's lost the ball. Well, it was perfect, and then it all came crashing down. But wonderful defence from Wigan, applauded by their coach.
And rightly so, because Mike Gregory realises that they wanted to get back. The urgency to get back was sensational. Dallas did everything that was needed. He's in there. This is what it meant to him. He knows that when a winger comes away from the whitewash, to go in and make sure that you get it.
That point about the opposition next week and taking nothing away from Leeds or Bradford. They have drawn twice at Leeds this year, have Wigan. They have beaten Bradford at Odsal. So whoever gets through tomorrow night, it will hold no fear.
Well, at 40 points to 10, Eddie, you would say that it's been a stroll in the park, but it's been a tough encounter out there.
It has.
And it will take a lot out of this Wigan outfit.
This is Johnson. What an occasion, though, this has been. Here is Robinson again. Now it's with Farrell. Another kick? No, pass instead. Flicked on.
Not the time to start the fancy stuff, boys. Sudden death football, you just crunch them. At 40 points to 10, there's no need for that. You grind it, you just go back to that wonderful basic football, kicking the in-goal area.
Well, this is the start of a fantastic weekend for Rugby League on Sky Sports. This, then we have the match On Sunday morning, Penrith Panthers and Sydney Roosters. It's the grand final from Australia live, Sky Sports 2. On Sunday on Sky Sports 3 at 1:30, Sheffield Eagles, Keighley Cougars, National League 2 grand final. They're going for promotion. Ben Pro as commentator and Clarkey alongside him with Steve-O. And then 4 o'clock, channel hop to Sky Sports 2 for Salford City Reds and Leigh Centurions. National League 1 grand final. Winner there will be in Super League next year. Bill Arthur will be calling that game with Clarkey and Steve-O again. And Peter Rowe and Neil Kelly are our guests. This meet was forward.
Forward a mile.
That was forward. He's not giving it. They're going to get the try.
Well, Lady Luck has certainly turned the turtle now, because that was a mile forward. It's a sympathy try as far as I'm concerned. Carl Kirkpatrick seemed to be in a good position there. The offload. There's a kick on the back. Never checked to see whether they're going to be offside, but it was a mile forward there. Surprising.
Well, in the context of the match, it doesn't really matter, but...
Yeah, but were they onside? I think they were offside anyway. He looked offside. Well, I can't believe that the official didn't go to it. To me, that is a sympathy effort. It was converted all right.
Cunningham scores the try. Long adds the goal. 40 points to 16. And, well, why didn't Carl Kirkpatrick go to the screen? I suppose in the context of the match doesn't really matter. As you say, the sympathy vote, but you always go potty about things like that. Farrell has left the scene. A monumental effort from the Wigan skipper.
Unbelievable. Courageous. And they really should be getting the ice packed around that knee now, straight away.
Well, he's feeling no pain, the doctor said.
I bet he will in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
Clarkey, down to you.
Well, I'm just looking through this Wigan side. In fact, all 1 to 17 who've played tonight, and you can't really find a weakness in it. I know that the Leeds and Bradford camps will be worried about their match tomorrow, but once that's over, the loser really does have some big questions in front of them. How do you sort of cause trouble against this cherry and white team at the moment? Because they just seem to be strong and dominant throughout, and also we've got several different options. If one player's closed down, there are other players within the side who can fill in that role. We've talked about how strong they are going forward with Pongia, Smith, O'Connor and Cassidy, just a few of the guys who've taken it up, but they're really strong at the back as well. Redlinski is in sensational form.
Yes, it's a good word to use for the Wigan performance tonight. It's a good word to use, actually, as an adjective to describe what we have seen here at the JJB this evening. A sensational night for the game. A sensational advert for the Super League. What a competition it is.
It's the way that they've controlled this game. All right, they've had a little bit of upsets of Wigan, but very few and far between throughout this game. And that's where they've been so strong. We knew it was going to be a battle up front. We always thought that Pongia, Smith and Terry Newton up front would hold the key.
Robinson with the one-pointer. Misses.
Well, they all cheer in anticipation. And it's not a bad option. He knows the game's won. Under no pressure, just came off the outside of the boot. And it's been played in a wonderful spirit, hasn't it?
Oh, wait.
It's been tough out there.
And here comes Newlop. He won't be happy to leave the St Helens scene on the back of a hefty scoreline against Wigan. Darren Smith away from one, couldn't get away from Aspinwall or Johnson. Joint to Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe to Long.
Look at that defence, he's lost it.
Play on.
What a perfect example of an absolute wonderful umbrella defence that we saw there on the wide shot.
Here's Aspinwall for Wigan now.
That shows
Party
you.
has started for all the Wigan fans.
I'm just saying, Eddie, that shows you how wonderful this new coach, Mike Gregory, has sorted them out in defensive-wise. He's called them back. Will take the glory, but not the 4 points.
It's a penalty to Wigan. It's been given on the intervention of the touch judge. Hyam stamped on him, or at least got the knee in.
Fair play to Hyam, though. He was playing to the whistle. Yeah.
in the ribs.
Well, fellas, keep moving.
Combination as well. These two touch judges have kept him well aware, Carl Kirkpatrick.
Well, Andy Farrell, man of the moment. He's on the sideline, bills at him with the mic.
Andy, first off, I must ask you, how's the knee?
Yeah, it come through all right, Bill. Strapping did me good tonight and kept it in place a bit.
You surprised?
Yeah, to get so long, yeah, very surprised. But you know, worked very hard all week for the last couple of weeks actually, and fair enough.
And presumably you can now look forward to next weekend. I mean, there's no danger of you having aggravated anything.
Well, I've just got to do what I have been doing, Bill, and keep care of the leg and do the right thing about it.
Look at that scoreboard over there on the big screen. Can you believe that?
Well, no, not in such an important game, but you know, when you get in front against St Helens with an early lead, it's very hard to keep focused, and the boys have done tremendously well to stay focused throughout this game, and you know, they're still fighting to the last minute now.
You must be very proud.
Yeah, especially it's the last game at the JJB, and we've given a good show to our supporters tonight.
Andy, thanks a lot.
Thanks for that.
Always Andy Farrell will talk to Sky Sports, no matter what time in the match, no matter what time of the day or night. Credit to the game, credit to his club, and credit to himself.
Back to 6, his head, is it?
Here's Newlove.
They won't give in Saints, full credit to them.
Cunningham, good ball. Cooper is wrestled to the ground. The tackle count continues. Hyam. Here is Cunningham.
Oh, that's a mile forward too.
Talau has kicked it forward. Couldn't get the ball away. He said play on again. Last tackle here for Saints. Wellens to Hyam. On to Joint. On to Darren Smith. On to Sculthorpe. Here's Newlove. Newlove ends his St Helens career with a try. He will be a bit disappointed with this. Couple of forward passes maybe, but Mike Gregory will not be happy that Wigan have allowed Saints to score 2 tries. It'll take the gloss off it a bit.
Full credit to them as well. They tested their arm. They're always having the overlap there. You can see Brian Carney coming out of position. And I'm with you, it looked on a couple of occasions they were a bit dodgy, not at the finish. And Newlove in for a consolation try to end his career at St Helens. It's been a wonderful career as well.
And look at the statistic of tries scored and appearances. 134 in 208. Credit the ones who have stayed behind. They will cheer their team off the field. They'll cheer them to the rafters. Here's Sean Long to try and add 2 more. Off the outside of the post. 40 points to 20.
The Saints and Ian Millwood, their coach, they knew all along that at 34-6 at half-time, they were never going to climb that mountain.
But they have stuck at it. They have kept pegging away.
They certainly have.
A couple of questionable passes, not read as forward by Carl Kirkpatrick. But the tries have to be scored, and they have scored them.
Taking the opportunity. Let's say the last 2 certainly dubious.
Well, 2 titles for Saints in Grand Final era, 2000-2002. They were looking for the hat-trick, but there will be another name on the trophy. This year it will not be Ian Millwood Saints. This is Hyam. Ian Millwood, though, Steve-O, will be encouraged by the way his men have battled away to get themselves back to some sort of respectability. Here goes Talau.
Well, they have done throughout the career that Ian Millwood has been coach. I must say they've produced some fantastic rugby league football.
Oh, they've treated us over the years.
And they know that they've lost the grip of that Super League trophy, but they will be trying as much. Oh, it was taken out without the football. Surely. Well, what on earth was the touch judge doing over there?
This is Hooper.
He's had a big second half, hasn't he?
They've scored 3 tries to 1 in this second half of Saints. They're looking for 4 here. Long's kick straight into the arms of Cassidy.
Well, Cassidy
lost that.
Cassidy got the ball there and saw a huge gap and thought, I'm not going to run all that way. He nearly sidestepped straight into Jason Hooper.
This is Carney.
But the one aspect that Mike Greger can say, okay, they've conceded those tries in the second half, Eddie, is that they've played as a unit, they've worked hard together. It's been a wonderful team effort.
Johnson. It's Wigan who are looking now to score the last try of the match. 3 tries to 1 in the second half. They have conceded it, but it's Wigan who will march on. Last tackle here. There's Cassidy waiting.
Will he go the short stab or will he go high?
Robinson just hacks the ball forward and straight into the arms of Gardner. Now they'll hunt the mistake. Oh, they nearly got it.
Walking around for the winger there.
No penalties.
Good pressure though by Craig Smith.
This is Gleeson.
L2! Wait with me, wait!
Hyam waits. This is Sculthorpe. Inside the last minute, Wigan are on the way to Headingley or Odsal. Where will it be? Well, you'll find out tomorrow on Sky Sports when Bradford and Leeds, the top 2, tangle. Mike Gregory and Dennis Betts have guided this team to within 80 minutes of the grand final. And that's a lovely kick over the top. And here goes Wellens. And Wellens wants another. And Radlinski again. This is Hyam. This is Darren Smith in it again. Second try for Darren Smith. They have ended with a great deal of respectability here. Have the Saints.
Nice finish. Good option in the dying seconds. Chip over the top, they tested their arm. And they'll be thinking, oh why didn't we get the opportunities in the first half? Short long. To the fullback Paul Wellens. They put him under the pressure. Yet again Redlinski coming back. There were always going to be a lot of trouble. Mickey Hyam was at an outstanding second half. And he's in for try number 2. Great work, great pass, and a wonderful finish. But to no avail. We know who's going to go away the victors tonight, despite such a brave effort from St. Helens.
And Long has missed with a conversion. Bravery and commitment in Super League from start to finish. Bravery and commitment from St. Helens in this second half. Mike Gregory's men march on, but Ian Millwood will point to the fact that in the second half, St. Helens scored 4 tries. There was only Chris Radlinski's in the 63rd minute for Wigan. Saints have won the second half all right, but Wigan had the match won by half-time. 34-6 it was at the break, 40-24 it is at the end. The champions bow out, Wigan march on, and it will be Wigan at either Odsal or Headingley next Friday night. The venue will be decided when Bradford meet Leeds at Odsal tomorrow. But what fantastic spirit this game has been played in, and Wigan march on. In the second half, 40 points to 20, they bow out. Wigan march on in front of that record attendance for a playoff match outside the grand final. And the man of the match who wins the Tissot watch was the Wigan hooker, Terry Newton. Here he is with Bill.
Terry, congratulations on a man of the match performance. There you go again. Fantastic first half.
Yeah, you know, the boys have dug in all deep all week. We've been watching videos of St. Helens and we found out where the weaknesses is. We put them into practice tonight and we've come away with a good win.
Disappointed with that second half?
No, not really, no. I think we might have had next week on our minds, but Greg will have a lot of words to say to us tomorrow morning and we'll have to be better than that next week.
Terry, well done.
Thanks a lot, thanks Tissot.
Let's bring Mike Gregory in. Are you going to have to have some tough words with him? I mean, surely not after you've put a result like that on the board.
Oh, Bill, you've got to have a look at what Saints could throw at you. The second half, they're outstanding. Although defensively, we were solid. First half won it for us. To have 100% completion, to finish off some of the great work. We have got some work to do, but credit to the boys. I mean, Dennis and I we've really worked hard in the last 10 weeks. And the boys are responding magnificently and hopefully culminating in we're 80 minutes away from a grand final. But these speckies are great and I think it was an epic to watch. cutthroat rugby with her, Bill.
Bradford or Leeds? Which do you fancy?
As long as they knock hell out of each other, you know. I'm sure it's going to be an epic again tomorrow. Could go either way. Big physical team, Bradford, and Leeds can play on an edge. I'm not a betting man. All I know is that we're through.
Well done, Mike.
Cheers, Bill.
He looks really